9 barrier trials taking place, and the first trial is off at 8:30 a.m. so just 10 minutes away until our first trial. And take note that all of trials 1, 2, 3, 4 will be contested on track 2, and then the remaining trials will be contested on the sand track. So the first 4 on track 2 and the remaining trials 5 to 9 will be contested on the sand track. So I'm sure the runners and riders will appear on screen shortly for trial 1. And up on screen are the runners and riders for trial 1, starting off with Pacific Diamond to be ridden by Lala D'Souza. Kim Lucky will now be ridden by Azizi. So there's a jockey change there with Azizi now taking the ride. Kim Power will be ridden by Winston Cheer. Military Award, CK Cole. RS Dream, Andre De Silva. Filial Dragon, TH Cole. And Flaming Midleal will be ridden by T. Amar. Loading process underway for the first trial of the morning. Pacific Diamond being caught into line. Just a little bit stubborn to move in. Now steps forward. So just a reminder, trials 1 to 4 will be contested on track 2, and then trials 5 through 9 will be contested on the sand track, all of the trials being over 1,000 meters. As Military Award moves in. First trial got 7 runners. Next runner being caught into line is Filial Dragon. Moves in. Flaming Migliore. Flaming Migliore steps in. Kim Power. And just 2 runners left to load, including RS Dream, who's a little bit above himself behind the starting stalls. RS Dream now moves in. And we have 1 more runner left to load, which will be Kim Lucky. And we'll be just about set for a start. Kim Lucky moves in. 7 runners, trial 1 for the morning, just about set. 1,000 meters to cover, gates are open and they're sent on their way from that 1,000 meter mark. Starters caught them to a pretty level beginning. Kim Power was one of the first ones to respond, being urged along as Military Award, and deeper out as RS Dream, who made her line of 3 heading down the bat straight. Just in behind those is Kim Lucky racing up on the inside of Filial Dragon, who's just caught deep in the early stages, now being passed by Flaming Migliore. And last of all at the back end is Pacific Diamond, but in close quarters, only about 5 lengths cover the field as they make their way past the 500 meter mark now. It's a line of 3 up in front. Deeper out on the track, RS Dream is probably the narrow leader. In between those, starting to make some headway is Flaming Migliore. Then comes Military Award down towards the inside. You've got Kim Power with Kim Lucky. Further back in the field to Filial Dragon, and Pacific Diamond is last of all. 200 meters left to travel now. RS Dream, the narrow leader. Military Awards right there in second, and down towards the inside, Kim Power is starting to catch the eye and runs on smartly as they're into the final 100 meters now. And RS Dream is still up in front. Military Award is going to run on to second probably, but it will be the way of RS Dream. Military Award flying up late was Flaming Migliore. Then came Kim Lucky. Further back to Filial Dragon, Kim Power. And Pacific Diamond was last across the line. So RS Dream and Andre De Silva will come over to win trial 1 this morning for the Siva stable. Of course, a big well done to Siva for the Tunku Gold Cup win over the weekend. And they'll take out trial 1 here. Andre De Silva in the winner's box. Second place going to Military Award. Third place went to Flaming Migliore, who certainly caught the eye running on late. Fourth place went to Kim Power. Then came Filial Dragon in 5th. 6th place went to Kim Lucky. And last across the line was Pacific Diamond, who was well beaten in 7th. So just to repeat those numbers, the winner RS Dream. 2nd place went to Military Award. 3rd place in Flaming Migliore. 4th Kim Power. In 5th was Filial Dragon. 6th place Kim Lucky. And in 7th was Pacific Diamond, who was last across the line. That completes trial 1 for the morning. Up next is trial 2, and the runners and riders will appear up on the screen shortly. Up next is Trial 2, Runners and Riders. Ken's Gambit will now be ridden by M. Lutman. So another jockey change there. Lutman will ride Ken's Gambit. Bold Runner will now be ridden by Nutman. Golden 80 to be ridden by Fahan. General Quinn to be ridden by Ace Zaria. Iron Storm will be ridden by Lala de Souza. Groovy to be ridden by S.U. Lim. And Eris will be ridden by Andre de Silva. So those are the runners and riders for Trial 2. It looks like the General's no longer taking part in this trial. And that leaves us with a field of 7 runners, which will be contested once again over 1,000 metres. And the runners are moving in for trial 2 this morning. Golden 80, the first runner, moves in. Once again, a field of 7 runners. All the while, Eris is still making his way down to the start. Still has about 100 meters or so. Now for the turn of Bold Runner. Moves in. General Quinn steps forward. We still have 4 runners left to load. Next runner will be Iron Storm. Groovy moves in. Seems like Groovy will be ridden by Winston Cheer. The last runner to load will be King's Gambit. Set for a start. Handler moves away 1,000 meters to cover. Field of 7. Gates are up back. Away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Golden 80. Dwell's been coming out the starting stalls. Lost about 2 or 3 lengths when the starters said go. Groovy up on the outside, responded quickly. Bold Runner is also showing pace towards the inside, and deep routes as Eris is pushing forward to be up there in the leading vicinity of runners. Then a length further back and running to Iron Storm. 2 lengths further back to General Quinn, who's now starting to fade further back in the field. Then we drop back to King's Gambit, who races 1 from last. And the marker for now is Golden 80, racing 8 lengths off the leader. As the homeward bound are just on 450 meters left to travel. Groovy's the narrow leader, but now is joined for company up on the outside by Eris. Bold Runner makes his run down towards the inside, and in between those is Iron Storm. He's just hoping for a gap to open up. 4 lengths further back in the running to General Quinn, as well as King's Gambit. As they're into the final 150 meters now, Bold Runner's been asked the issue to try and lengthen his stride towards the inside, but deep route Groovy still travelling well. These two will hit the line together, but Groovy's doing his best work late, and Groovy will come in to win. Second place would go to Eris, who also finished off strongly. Bold Runner was back in third, then came King's Gambit, further back to Iron Storm, then came Golden 80, and fading out was General Quinn. So it will be Groovy and Winston Cheer, who will win trial 2 this morning. For the Richard Lim stable, wins rather well with the run down to the line. Second place, going the way of Eris up on the outside, followed by Bold Runner, who finished in third. And 3 lengths further back in the running to Iron Storm, who was back in fourth. Then came King's Gambit in fifth, followed by Golden 80, and last across the line was General Quinn. So to repeat those numbers, Groovy the winner, followed by Eris in second. Third placing went the way of Bold Runner. Then came Iron Storm in fourth. Fifth place was King's Gambit. In sixth was Golden 80, and last across the line was General Quinn in seventh. That completes trial 2. Up next is trial 3, once again over 1,000 meters, and we'll be on track 2 once more. Runners and riders for barrier trial 3 this morning. Material Turn will be ridden by Winston Cheer. The Man is Dunmer will be ridden by Andre De Silva. Exit Strategy with the ride of Surya. Terms of Reference, J. Ikram. Colonel's Son to be ridden by S.U. Lim. And Bumba will be ridden by M. Lukman. There's also a jockey change there. Lukman takes the ride on Bumba. And those are your runners and riders for barrier trial 3, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. Runners moving in for trial 3 this morning. Material Turn the Grey was the first runner to move in. The man is Dunmer. Steps forward. Terms of reference being called into line. Just shies away as he was about to move in. It's about 3/4 of the way in, and now moves in. Colonel Sun. Just a field of 6 runners. Next runners move in Exit Strategy. And the last to load will be Bumba, with the ride of Lutman about to move in and does so. 6 runners, 1,000 metres to cover. Gates are back, away and trialling from the 1,000 metre mark. Starters caught them to a perfect beginning. The man is Dunmer, one of the first ones to show down towards the inside. Material Turn, terms of reference also right up there. Only racing a length off the leader. Then deeper out on the track is Exit Strategy. He's going to concede a spot to race in 3rd place, just ahead of Material Turn, who after that good start has conceded to race away in 4th. Up on his outside is Bumba, and the back marker for now is Colonel Sun, who's racing 5 lengths off the leader with 500 metres left to travel. And up in front, it's terms of reference on the outside, narrowly with the man is Dunmer, who's battled on the inside in 2nd. In behind those is Exit Strategy in 3rd. Deeper out on the track is Bumba. Then comes Material Turn the Grey, that's racing 5 lengths off the leader. And Colonel Sun is off racing back last of all. Into the final 200 metres now. Terms of reference has gone to the lead, goes about a length and a half clear. Out the pack chasing his Exit Strategy, who's starting to run on smartly. Then deeper out on the track, you've got Bumba. But with the run down to the line, terms of reference is going to just about win it. 2nd place will go the way of Exit Strategy. 3rd on the inside is the man is Dunmer. They were followed by Bumba, Material Turn, and then came Colonel Sun. So terms of reference, with Jay Ikram aboard for the Cherie Kim Hamilton stable, will win trial 3 this morning. They've asked too many questions here. Will win rather comfortably at the end. 2nd place, Exit Strategy, who will be running on Sunday. Nice little blowout before his race this weekend. Running on to finish into 2nd. 3rd placing went the way of the man is Dunmer. Then came Bumba, who was up on the outside in 4th. They were followed by Material Turn in 5th, and 6th place went the way of Colonel Sun, who was last across the line. So just to repeat those numbers. Terms of reference, the winner. 2nd place, Exit Strategy. 3rd place, the man is Dunmer. 4th place went to Bumba. Then came Material Turn in 5th, and 6th place went the way of Colonel Sun. That completes trial 3. Move on to trial 4, which will be the last of our trials on the track 2, before we'll move across to the sand track for the remaining trials for the morning. So up next will be trial 4, and it should commence in approximately 6 or 7 minutes time. Runners and riders for barrier trial 4. Starting off with Storm Dynasty, will be ridden by Atmazani. Strong Dragon will be ridden by CK Call. Run Buddy Run, Clyde Lake. Happy Magic, H. Hytel. CH Fortune, Nutman. Southern Speed will be ridden by M. Lutman. And the last of the runners, Benbow, will be ridden by Saifuddin. So those are the runners and riders for barrier trial 4 this morning, and they should be making their way down to the start shortly. Storm Deity, the first runner to move in for barrier trial 4 this morning. Next runner to load will be Strong Dragon. Field of 7 here for barrier trial 4. And just a reminder, this is the last of the trials on track 2 before we'll move across to the sand track for trials 5 through to 9 as Run Buddy Run moves in. Happy Magic. Next run its load will be CH Fortune. And we're left with just 2 more runners. Southern Speed. We'll be trialing with the pacifiers on. And the last run its load will be Benbow. And we'll be set for a start. So they're still currently working on Benbow. Benbow moves in. And it moves away 1,000 meters. Gates are back. Away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Happy Magic didn't get the best of breaks. And you'll have to race from the back end of the field early on. Storm Deity towards the inside responded quickly with Run Buddy Run. Deeper out on the track is CH Fortune, and even deeper out is Strong Dragon, who's racing 4 wide in the early stages. Just in behind those is Strong Dragon, who's only racing 1.5 lengths off the leader, then 3 lengths further back to Benbow, and outpaced is Happy Magic, who's racing at the back end of the field and about 6 or 7 lengths off the leaders. They make the way past the 500 meter mark now, and Run Buddy Run has picked up the lead. Storm Deities towards the inside, then comes CH Fortune, followed by Strong Dragon, who's just in behind those. Deeper out on the track and pushing forward now is Southern Speed, and towards the back end of the field is Happy Magic. You still got about 8 lengths to make up. As they're into the final 250 meters now, they spread right across the track. Down towards the inside is Storm Deity, but challenged by Strong Dragon. Run Buddy Run is deeper out on the track. In between those is Benbow starting to catch the eye, and deepest out is Happy Magic, as they're going to hit the line now, and towards the inside it will be the way of Strong Dragon, who will just get ahead of Storm Deity, followed by Run Buddy Run. Happy Magic was deeper out on the track. They were followed further back in running by Southern Speed. Then came Benbow, and last across the line was CH Fortune. So it will be Strong Dragon here from C-Trade Core for the Chin Chin Oi stable. Wins by about a long neck in the closing stages. Second place went the way of Storm Deity, who was right up there with the speed for the majority of the trial. Third place, Run Buddy Run. They were followed further back by Happy Magic in fourth. Fifth place will go towards Benbow, just ahead of Southern Speed, who was back in sixth. And last across the line was CH Fortune in 7th. So your winner is Strong Dragon, followed by Storm Deity. Run Buddy Run was in 3rd. 4th place went to Happy Magic. 5th, Benbow. 6th place was Southern Speed. And in 7th place was CH Fortune. And that's how they cross the line for barrier trial 4 as we move on to trial 5, which is the first of our trials on the sand track and will be contested over 1,000 meters. And the runners and riders will appear on screen shortly. Runners and riders for trial 5, starting off with Cinnamon Blaze, will be ridden by Nutman, Rhoda Robots, Andre De Silva, Surfy Boy. Surfy Boy will now be ridden by Atmazani. So there's a jockey change there. Atmazani rides Surfy Boy. Xena will be ridden by Haikal. Streets of Fire, Aceria, and Berry Bliss will be ridden by Clyde Leck. There's the runners and riders for trial 5 and should commence in about 6 or 7 minutes time. Runners are moving forward for barrier trial 5 this morning. Cinnamon Blaze moved in riderless. Newtman will jump aboard shortly. Field of 6 runners on the sand track as Roto Robots is about to move in. All the while Surfy Boy is quite fresh behind the starting stalls. Surfy Boy just lashing out. He's doing way above himself. Surfy Boy now moves in. I'm sure the handlers will be quite happy with that. A lot of them ducking for cover and going under the rails. Three runners left to load. Xena being caught into line, moves in. And we're just waiting on Streets of Fire and Berry Bliss to complete the field. Streets of Fire steps forward. And Berry Bliss is the last one. Moves in. 6 runners, 1,000 meters on the sand track. Trial 5 for the morning. Set. And they're away and trialing from that 1,000 meter mark. Cinnamon Blaze got off to a very good start as one of the early front runners. Surfy Boy is now pushing forward to join issue. Just in behind those is Roto Robot, who's racing along the inside of Xena, then 2 lengths further back in the running to Streets of Fire, and Berry Bliss is last of all and racing about 4 to 5 lengths off the lead as they take to the turn now. With just on 600 meters left to travel. Up in front, it's Surfy Boy alongside Cinnamon Blaze. These two, nothing much separating the pair as we drop back to third place, which is Xeno's racing 3 lengths off the leading pair. 4 lengths further back in the running to Berry Bliss alongside Roto Robot, and last of all is Streets of Fire. 350 meters left to travel. Cinnamon Blaze is up in front, right alongside Surfy Boy. Deeper out is Xeno, who's now starting to get asked the question and starts to lengthen her stride, slowly but surely working her way into the trial, and Berry Bliss is racing 4 lengths behind those. 100 meters left to travel. It's Cinnamon Blaze, who's still up in front. Second place is Surfy Boy. Xena's trying to work her way into a better position, but it will be Cinnamon Blaze that comes home to win. Second place going the way of Surfy Boy. Then came Xena, Berry Bliss, a long way back to Roto Robot, and last across the line was Streets of Fire. Cinnamon Blaze under Nookman will win trial 5. It's pretty much hard held for the majority of the trial. You can see Surfy Boy just got urged along going into the final 100 meters or so. And Xena was just a little bit one pace in the final 100 meters. It will be Cinnamon Blaze that wins. Surfy Boy finished in second. Third place went the way of Xena. Then the margins get quite big behind that. Berry Bliss was probably about 6 or 7 lengths behind the first trifecta of horses. And then it's easily about a dozen lengths back to Roto Robot, who was in 5th. And then 3 lengths further back to Streets of Fire, who crossed the line last of all. So to confirm those numbers, Cinnamon Blaze, the winner. Second place is Surfy Boy. In third was Xena. Fourth place went the way of Berry Bliss. Fifth place was Roto Robot, and in 6th place was Streets of Fire. That completes barrier trial 5 this morning. Up next is trial 6, and it's a field of 4 runners. So we're just waiting for the trial sheet to appear on screen. You can quickly run through the runners and riders for barrier trial 6, which is up next. And a look at the runners and riders. Rocky Bai will be ridden by Azizi. Storm Pegasus, Nookman. Big Bird to be ridden by Clyde Lek. And Great Warrior will be ridden by Andre De Silva. So just a field of 4 runners, 1,000 meters on the sand track, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. Loading process for trial 6, just 4 runners. It shouldn't take too long. Rocky Bai's already moved in. Storm Pegasus. Now for the turn of Great Warrior. And Big Bird is no longer in this trial, so just a field of 3. And the gates are back, and they're in trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Rocky Bai responded well, is right up there as the early front runner. Storm Pegasus is racing away in second, and Great Warrior is the bat marker in third, but slowly but surely starting to work his way up around runners, and pretty much only about a length that covers the field, as they got about 600 meters left to travel, and it's Rocky Bai under Azizi that is the leader, only by a length. Up on the outside is Great Warrior under Andre De Silva, and a further length back and running to Storm Pegasus under Nookman, who completes the field in third. And the margin starts to increase now as Rocky Bai starts to lengthen his stride up in front. Has gone about 3 lengths clear. Racing in second is Storm Pegasus, and further back in the running to Great Warrior, who's last of all and now is easily 6 lengths off the leader as Rocky Bai is really starting to extend his stride up in front and should win this easing up at the line with 100 metres left to go. He's gone about 8 lengths clear, and Azizi, in a very comfortable manner, will win this trial in a very comfortable fashion. Second place will go to Storm Pegasus, and third place went the way of Great Warrior. So Big Bird was obviously taken out, which left us with a field of 3 runners, and it was Rocky Bai who pretty much made every poster when he went up in front and really started to extend the margins in the final 200 metres or so, and ends up winning by, could even say 10 lengths with the run down to the line. So Rocky Bai a comfortable winner, followed by Storm Pegasus in second, and third place was Great Warrior. Rocky Bai from the Nick Sullivan stable, ridden by Azizi, and wins very comfortably here. Second place Storm Pegasus, and third place Great Warrior, just to repeat those numbers for you once more. Up next is Trial 7, a slightly bigger field that is carded to trial and should be up next in the next 6 or 7 minutes or so. So Trial 7, starting off with your runners and riders. Happy Warrior will be ridden by Sai Fuden. Forget Romance, Clyde Leck. Bingo Master, Akmazani. Pacific Sonic, Lala D'Souza. And Otahuhu will be ridden by Azizi. So 5 runners up next for Trial 7, as we have 3 trials remaining for the morning. Runners are moving in for trial 7. Happy Warrior, the first one to move in. Forget Romance. Steps forward. Field of 5 runners here for trial 7. So just 3 more runners left to load. Seems like Bingo Master will be the next runner to move in. Bingo Master moves forward. 2 runners left, Pacific Sonic. And Otahuhu will complete the lineup. Moves in. 1,000 meters, 5 runners, set. And no way in trialing from that 1,000 meter mark. Otahuhu responded very quickly, goes straight to the lead and has an early lead of about 2 to 3 lengths early on, with Forget Romance in the turquoise colours in second. Up along the outside is Pacific Sonic, they're being followed by Happy Warrior. And towards the back end of the field is Bingo Master with about 5 lengths that cover the field, as they have about 650 meters left to travel. Up in front it's Otahuhu, who's gone 3 lengths clear. Forget Romance is starting to creep closer in second. They're being followed further back by Pacific Sonic, and then 3 lengths further back in the range to Bingo Master and Happy Warrior, which is the back pairing, and is outpaced by easily about 10 lengths turning for home, with 350 left to travel. And Otahuhu, still a comfortable leader up in front, has gone 5 to 6 lengths clear of Pacific Sonic. Then comes Forget Romance in third, 4 lengths further back to Bingo Master, and Happy Warrior is last of all as they're into the final 100 meters now. And there's a repeat of trial 6. Azizi up in front will win by about 8 or 9 lengths in the closing stages aboard Otahuhu. Second place will go the way of Pacific Sonic. Then came Forget Romance, followed by Bingo Master, and Happy Warrior was last across the line. Well, Nick Sullivan and Azizi certainly loving the trials in the sand track here. Both trials 6 and 7 taken up by the combination, and the combining lengths of the 2 winners must be close to 20 lengths in total, as Otahuhu wins trial 7 by about 8 or 9 lengths in the closing stages. Second place went the way of Pacific Sonic, followed by Forget Romance in third. Then came Bingo Master in fourth, and Happy Warrior was last across the line in fifth. So just to repeat those numbers: Otahuhu the winner, Pacific Sonic in second, third place Forget Romance, fourth place Bingo Master, and in fifth place was Happy Warrior. Up next is trial 8, and this is the penultimate trial for the morning, and it looks like it's a field of 4 runners. Runners and riders for Barrier Trial 8 this morning. Hayatsu will be ridden by Akmazani. Let's Come On Baby, Andre De Silva. Pacific Prime, Lala De Souza. And Blue Jay will be ridden by Saifuddin. So just the 4 runners once again on the sand track, and they should be making their way down to the start shortly. And the lights is flashing for trial 8 this morning, the penultimate trial for the morning. Let's Come On Baby, the first one to move in. Just a field of 4 runners here. Blue Jay, Blue Jay moves in. Next runner to load, Pacific Prime. And Hayato will complete the field. Moves in. 4 runners, 1,000 meters. Handler moves away. Gates are back. Away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Pacific Prime lost about 2 or 3 lengths when the starter said go. Let's Come On Baby, as well as Hayato, the first 2 to respond, and pushing forward up on the outside is Blue Jay to make a line of 3 and detach from the field and racing 2 lengths off the leader, but is slowly starting to try and cut back the deficit. Is Pacific Prime, who's racing at the back end of the field. Only 2 lengths cover them as they make the way past the 500 meter mark now, and Hayato is the narrow leader up on the outside. Blue Jay in second, and in between those two is Let's Come On Baby in third. And then comes Pacific Prime, still racing 2 lengths off the leader, and angles his run towards the outside of the track as they're at the top of the straight now with 350 left to travel. It's Hayato who's up in front, goes about 2 lengths clear. Out the pack chasing is Blue Jay with Let's Come On Baby, and Pacific Prime is deepest out and is racing 2 to 3 lengths off the leader with 150 meters left to travel. And Hayato could lead them a merry dance. He has gone 4 lengths clear at this stage and won't be for the catching. Hayato will win, easing up at the line. Second place will go the way of Blue Jay. Finishes just ahead of Pacific Prime, and fading out at the back was Let's Come On Baby. So Hayato under Akmazani for the Jerome Tan stable will win trial 8, the penultimate for this morning. And pretty much seems to be the common trend that whichever horse goes to the front will stay in front. And this one here will win by about 4 lengths in the closing stages. Second place going the way of Blue Jay. Third was Pacific Prime, who after that slow start did recover to finish about 5 lengths off the leader. And last of all was Let's Come On Baby, who was back in 4th. So to repeat those numbers, Hayato the winner, followed by Blue Jay in second. Third place Pacific Prime, and Let's Come On Baby completed the field in 4th. The last of our trials this morning, trials 9, is up next and should commence in about 6 or 7 minutes time. Runners and riders for trial 9. There are 3 unnamed runners. Starting off with the first one, who will be ridden by Sai Fudan. The second of the unnamed runners, S.U. Lim. And the third of the unnamed runners will be ridden by Fikri. Wednesday to be ridden by Clyde Leck. And Griffin will be ridden by Atmazani. So those are the runners and riders for trial 9. The last of our trials this morning. And should commence in about 5 minutes time. And the loading process is underway for the final trial this morning. I have 3 unnamed runners in a field of 5. So we'll just call the unnamed runners with their respective jockeys on. And the first one with Saifuddin aboard has moved in. Now for the turn of SU Lim. Aboard the unnamed runner Y19 as his MRA brand. Next to load is the third unnamed runner with the ride of iFitri. And the MRA brand for that one is U141. And the remaining 2 runners, Wednesday and Griffin. Wednesday just a little bit reluctant, but now moves in. And Griffin will complete the field. Griffin steps forward. 5 runners, 1,000 meters, last trial for the morning. And they're away and trialing from that 1,000 meter mark. A bit of an untidy beginning, but the runners have recovered and they're pretty much in a straight line early on. Towards the inside is the first of the unnamed runners under Saifuddin, being passed up by SU Lim as well as Fitri with their unnamed runners. Deeper out on the track is Wednesday and Griffin, who's also trying to get up into a handier position. There's not much covering the field now as they take the angle towards the turn with 600 meters left to travel, and they've settled themselves into a better position. And the unnamed runner under Fitri is the leader, racing away in second. Up on the outside is Griffin. Towards the inside is the unnamed runner under SU Lim, followed by the unnamed runner under Saifuddin, who's even further along the inside. And deepest out on the track is Wednesday in the turquoise colours with Clyde Lett as they're into the final 250 meters now. They spread right across the track, and it looks like it's Fitri who's deeper out that has the narrow advantage over the Saifuddin runner who's towards the inside, and deeper out is Griffin who's starting to find a good finish alongside Wednesday. As they're into the final 150 meters, it's going to be the unnamed runner under Fitri who's going to fend off the late challengers and will come home to win. Second place gets very close. I think it's the outside Griffin who just gets ahead of Wednesday. Then came the unnamed runner under Saifuddin, and last across the line was the unnamed runner under SU Lim. So that completes our barrier trials this morning. The winner here is the unnamed runner with the MRA brand of U141. With iFitri in the saddle. He will come home to win by just over a length with the run down to the line. As we wait for the camera to roll through, because that's not the finish line. The finish line is a little bit further up, where that blue pole is. And according to that, it will go to Griffin, who finishes just ahead of Wednesday. And then down towards the inside was the unnamed runner under Saifuddin, and last across the line was the unnamed runner under SU Lim. So just to repeat those numbers, the winner is the unnamed runner under Fitri. Griffin finished in second, followed by Wednesday in third. Fourth place was the unnamed runner under Saifuddin, and completing the trial last of all was the unnamed runner under SU Lim. That's how they crossed the line for the 9th and final time this morning. Thank you so much for joining us for our barrier trials this Wednesday, the 19th of March at the Selangor Turf Club, as racing takes place on this Sunday. A rather quiet weekend of racing after a bumper weekend that we had last week. As racing will take place again on Sunday the 23rd of March of what looks to be a 12 race program. So thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you back here this Sunday at the races.